Welcome to the Music Examination. The hosts of the show are Zag, Ness, and Curtis, who will be discussing, debating, and dissecting classic rock and roll. Let the show begin.
Hit that magic button.
And we are going, okay?
All right, we're off.
Hey guys,
and
how's
off.
it going?
We're off and running.
Yep,
It's going.
that's good. That's good. All right,
It's going.
so we got the topic today is concerts and touring. What is it?
You need help with this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just basically, how the whole concert scene has changed as regards to just the whole experience.
Is it better?
And it's
Is it
not
worse?
about, it's not about bands per se, because I think we covered that in a previous podcast as far as would you go see a band if they only had like one original guy in there or ticket price or anything. It's just the whole concert experience doesn't matter what band you're talking about, just the experience of going to a concert, getting off your ass and just going out there to the show. How that's changed since, when we were coming up. Does that sound about right?
Coming up where?
Does that sound about right?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Okay.
So when you're talking about coming up, you mean when we were little kids growing up and then...
Well, no. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't have any...
No, I know.
You goofball. Yeah.
It's like...
You couldn't start going to concerts until you actually had a driver's license
Right.
unless you knew Chris Labuddy and he'd drive you to the show.
Well, Chris Labuddy is a real cool guy and he's a friend of ours.
He is. There you go. All right. Yes.
No, it kind of sounds like when we were coming up, it's like, what were we in the minor league systems? We were going to high school concerts or children concerts. Now you guys get to graduate to actual concerts at a theater.
No, I don't think there was anything right there. That just kind of
Okay.
went right into that,
I see.
They mixed that with going to the clubs and stuff. So,
Okay.
Which is a dead scene now.
Pretty much, yeah.
That I
actually,
know of.
I mean,
everything
there's-
now is ticketed. You just can't on a Friday night like we used to all, look up the Metro Times or the
even
newspapers.
newspaper,
Would say, okay, well, what's going on Friday? Let's go to the red carpet. Let's go to so and so. Let's go
the
see
main
who's
act
playing.
or something like that.
Yeah, well, the main
Ritz.
act. Get in for maybe $5, or if
Right.
not even that, just free. And they just go, hey, let's go see a band.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I would do that. I did that more. I probably saw more bands than I did movies. Because I just going to the movies and stuff. It was more. Let's go see a band.
I wonder if that's everywhere. Like,
Yeah,
far
yeah.
as-
You mean as far
are
as
there
like,
music scenes anywhere anymore?
I think maybe Nashville.
Probably
has
Nashville.
got, or like LA.
Yeah, I
certain
think
things that
Nashville
got a
still-
really
I think
vibrant-
Nashville-
People still go out to California. You'll hear.
Right, but just local bands in
Right.
a local area. There's not too many places that want you to play original music anymore. But one of these bands that we went and seen, a lot of them they were all playing original music.
Well, either that, or maybe they're just obviously there's no venue for them to play in.
Right, that's what I'm
As
saying,
far-
is there's
a lot
none.
of these kids would probably say, "Well, screw that. We'll just shoot our videos, or we'll do something on YouTube or something like
That's
that."
what they do. They put it on YouTube and
Yeah.
But you
hope to
miss
get
something
lucky.
by doing that. I mean, it'd be great to go see something on YouTube and stuff, and I do it all the time with concerts and stuff. But there's something about going there.
Yes.
There's something
Well,
about you having your ears ring the day after.
Yes.
But,
buying bad flat beer.
But the music itself nowadays, the kids are listening to Ariana Grande and those. I mean, Taylor Swift does write her own stuff, but some of these pop acts they don't write that music. They're just some of them don't even sing. They're lip syncing.
Pretty much.
And back when we were younger, the pop acts were the rock bands. They didn't have these, what do you call them, bubblegum card, kid bands and kid acts. There was Menudo or whatever, I remember. But there were bands that were actually playing their own music and, honing their skills, and that's what they were doing in the clubs and getting discovered. I think that's right now that scene's just not there anymore.
Right.
No, you're right. A lot of that stuff's manufactured.
Yeah.
Like your Ariana Grandes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or even
they're-
your Britney Spears and stuff. A manager comes and sees a group of people like the Backstreet Boys and stuff like that, or sees a
And that's kind of where it all started.
It's not really important. You have talent. I can get you some songs. We can make you something just
Right.
based
It's
on
just-
that. We can
it's-
create something around you.
Right.
As opposed to, like Mike was saying, going into a bar and stuff and slogging it out and working on your chops there.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
when those bands like the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all that, they became popular. And now, you go to those concerts or you see them on TV, it's all dancing. It's all more choreography
a lot
than
of
it is
stuff
the
going on.
music itself. That's where I don't know how that's stuck.
Well, But I mean, some of it probably it was like they're like some of them ones like you're saying, like Britney Spears and stuff like that. A lot of them were like the Musketeers. They came out of stuff. They're doing dance stuff, and and it's almost like you go to take dance lessons, and if you're a good dancer, it's like, okay, that's step one. Next thing hey, can you sing? Well, you have the physical look that we want that you could be a star, and you can you sing? That's even better. You can dance and move. Okay, you're the next star.
See, now Motown did it kind of ass backwards. Motown had the songwriters give these kids in these groups songs and stuff, and they perform them, and then they would send them to dance school and charm school so they could take them out on the road, because these are all inner city kids. They didn't know anything with Bupkis and stuff. So Charlie Atkins and stuff would take them into the studio and stuff and give the Temptations and the Four Tops all their moves and stuff. But that was at the very end, after the music was out there and they were ready to tour and stuff. Like you're saying, you're saying the Britney Spears, the first most important thing is you look good, you dance well. Okay, well, let's see if we can find some songs for you,
right,
and make something around you, as opposed to you being
creating
making yourself.
Your own. You want your sound and what you want. It's like, no, you don't get an opportunity to do that. We're going to give you.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of like what Taylor Swift has done is kind of the opposite. She's actually had this big group of songs, and she's kind of created herself.
Yes.
God, she's made herself just huge. She's an icon.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the basis of her stuff is basically she has songs.
Yes.
She was never really, you're going to do this, you're going to do this. She was never a product. She actually came in there, with an armful of songs saying, okay, let's do this. And then things just kind of spun, I would say out of control, but spun in her way as far as how she was able to develop all that stuff too.
You know who her manager is?
No.
I think it's Lars from Metallica, his brother.
I was about to say.
Oh, really?
And they said he's behind a lot of that.
Really?
With her.
Okay.
I mean, she's obviously got
her?
a great group of people behind her.
Yeah, I think,
My God.
Yeah.
She's just selling tickets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like
the biggest selling act in the world.
Yeah, it's like a huge event.
She's beyond the phenomenon.
Yeah.
You think of like your Michael Jacksons, your Madonnas and stuff.
Which
like
I'm not
that
saying
stuff.
she doesn't have talent.
No,
I don't see the.
I don't either.
Her
but
songs
I can't
are
hate on
okay.
it. I can't hate on it, but you're right. I don't see.
But she's doing something right, man.
Yeah. She's
connecting with the right group of kids.
Yeah, she started out as a country singer, but now she's kind of transformed into pop. But she's apparently she must be writing songs that hit a chord with the young,
multi-generational.
I
mean, the moms are listening to it as well as the daughters and
Yeah.
stuff, and they all go in groups and stuff to go see the show. So I think it's bigger than the whole Michael Jackson thing, because this has become just beyond huge.
Yeah.
So, but good for her. Like I said, it's not something that I can sit there and say, I listen to her stuff, but I respect the hustle. Like I said, she's writing her own songs and stuff. Mm-hmm. She's keeping her nose clean, outside of just, flip-flopping boyfriends all the time. But we don't really hear anything really bad about her. Seems like a good cat, so, but, I can't hate on that. She's not, doing anything that's, the religious right would go over there and start, picketing her shows.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's it's unique and stuff like that. And
I think they're showing a little less of her at the football games, though, which is a good thing.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
That was driving me nuts. Every time the guy catch a ball, they're showing her up there cheering.
Well, see, the thing is Travis ain't having that good of a year this year, so
that's true too.
So he's not getting
the looks and stuff, so he can't catch them.
Yeah, so they can't pan up to her and she's clapping.
Leave him. She'll leave him. One more bad game and you're out.
Yeah.
Wow, she's already put him on alert.
Who's
see what Giselle did to Tom?
Yeah.
You're next, buddy.
Yeah. Who's the backup tight end?
We're talking about concerts.
Is he single?
We got to get back to the concert.
Yeah, we kind of
thing. I just think back when we were younger, when just even finding out about a concert, it was a big deal. They used to say on the radio at 6:00 we have a major concert.
the radio
announcement.
stations.
And
yeah.
major wasn't the Taylor Swift. It was just a band that was hot at the time.
Breaking news: Kansas
And then
is coming to
and then
Como.
you'd sit around the radio waiting to hear who it was, and
Yep.
it was either, oh man, that's cool, or I'm really not going to go on that one. But now there's people come through town I didn't even hear about it. Like we were at our hockey game the other day, and a guy goes, "Yeah, we once saw ELO." I'm like, I didn't even know they played. At Little Caesars too,
Yeah.
a major arena. I didn't even know they were in town, and that happens all the time.
And didn't there used to be? You're right about the 5 o'clock concert announcement stuff. And the cool thing about that, you didn't have what you have now with the internet. You could find out, months in advance. Even like you had to read about like Rolling Stone or Cream saying, okay, well, so and so is going to be touring, but you didn't know if they're coming to your town. They didn't have a whole list of it. Well, you could get a list of everybody's tour itinerary now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd wait till 5 o'clock. You said, okay, yeah, like Mike said, well, we'll go to that one, we'll pass it. But the Sunday newspaper would have the entertainment section, have a list of all of them right there. You're going, okay, this goes on sale, whatever.
Yep,
so you get your shit together, so get your money together. Who's going to drive down there to get the tickets down
or the
at
summer
Como,
concerts
whatever.
at the amphitheaters.
Oh, the Pine Knob ones were great.
They would have the
you
whole
could plan
list.
your summer behind that.
Yeah, they would have the whole list of them. You could pick, who was coming, the double bills. And I mean, they've still announced those concerts kind of early now, but they're not like you said, they're not in the paper. They're not.
There's no element of surprise.
Yeah.
No.
Like you were saying, you just sit there waiting. So who's going to be coming in here to that 5 o'clock announcement and stuff? And they said, okay, yeah, we'll go to. Or no, that's incredible, man. You know who's coming?
Yep.
They'd go.
And then they'd play a song from that band.
Brass Rings welcomes Loverboy, and you go, I waited for that.
And then they would normally follow that up with like a song from that band.
Yeah.
To kind of pump you up.
Yeah. Or they'd say they just a lot of times would have the opening act too. And they'd say,
Special guest,
it's Loverboy with the tubes. And you'd be like, man, I waited for that.
No, and then what you would do is you'd pick out something you
then
liked.
you had to decide whether you're going to go.
Right.
And then
you had to go down, you had to drive
before
down.
Ticketmaster, you had to go down to the arena. This is in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And wait in line, or people would sleep overnight if it was a big enough concert. And then Ticketmaster came around.
Right.
There was
It made it
only
a lot
couple-
easier, but you
there
still
were-
had to wait.
You still had to wait
Hudson's
to get
stuff
in
or
line
wherever,
before they open.
What was that?
Music stop.
Music stop over there in the
Yeah.
Eastland.
On Gratiot,
or
yeah.
They'd
Eastgate
have you
Center,
come through
you
the
know.
back door, and you'd have to wait in line.
Yes.
Now you go online, and rarely can you get a front row seat.
Rarely could you get good
No.
seats.
You know, it's that's what I don't like about
Now,
it.
I heard a story back in the day. What they would do, some promoters would actually pay homeless people to wait in line. Hey, I'll give you, and then they would wait overnight.
Yeah.
And in the morning when they come in there, they would take the spot and they would give whatever the person was.
never heard that.
Whiskey
some money
money?
and stuff.
Some whiskey money?
Whiskey money and stuff. And then they would
They'd
plant
offer-
their guys in there with the wad of cash. You're not going to give a wad of cash to a homeless dude. Because you'll never.
Right, yeah.
It'd be like that Seinfeld episode where they strap the rickshaw on the guy. He takes the rickshaw.
He's right up.
All right, go down to the end, make a controlled turn, and come up back. So yeah, and then they would do that, and that's how they would get their hands on the really good seats.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, and again, you had to plan that. Like I said, the car, we'd all go down there, party a little bit and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just
Then the
waiting in line.
day of the show, a lot of times the bands would be on the radio
called
in the
radio.
afternoon.
And they'd be playing,
They'd come into town.
blocks
Oh,
of songs.
They go down to the radio station. W4 was down on Jefferson.
Ted on W4 is classic.
Yeah, well, that.
And anytime Giles came into town,
But a lot
too.
of Giles would do it. They'd go and promote it before the show even started. That was cool. You don't see bands doing that anymore either.
No.
They don't have to.
No.
Yeah, they can just put it on TikTok or whatever and say, hey, we're coming to town.
But it made it more of an event than it is
No,
now.
it sort of did. It gave a chance, again, because of social media, you could still do that through Twitter and all that stuff. But back then, you could call in and talk to the guy. Instead of tweeting Ted Nugent and stuff, you could actually call and talk to Ted Nugent. And he could, you could interact with him.
Sometimes they'd be drunk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I remember, I think it was Joe Walsh one time was on, and he was hammered.
Oh,
he
remember
probably back then, he probably-
Rockline used to be
Oh, yes,
on
Rockline.
Rockline
It used to be at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yep.
And most of those guys were drunk.
Yeah.
Like I remember a couple of Van Halen ones where these
yeah,
was
they
out
were
of
just
control.
like,
Poor
yeah,
Jim
yeah.
Ladd,
He couldn't
who
keep
couldn't even
control
keep
of
these guys in control. It was just
I forgot
like a
about that show.
madhouse.
Yeah.
One time he yelled at like,
And people
"Hey!"
would call in, hey, I'm Mike from St. Louis now. How'd you guys do this? And they would just go off and riff on something and stuff. And it's like, oh my God. And they play, songs and stuff. And they come back out of the intro and they're screaming, but
Now the next day, if they did that today, the next day it'd be all over the news.
yeah, you couldn't do any. Yeah,
So and so was hammered on
drunk
the
yeah,
Rockline show and made an idiot of himself.
Oh yeah.
Well,
With today's political correctness, you can't be drunk and
no, and you can't. Yeah, you're right. And you can't do things that they were doing on the air too because there was no footprint really. It was just that one tape. But if you, like you said, you do it now. It's going to be websites and
TikTok.
Twitters and TikTok and YouTube. It's all good. You can't even, you can't do any of that stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. So then it was actually the two things. You also, if you bought the ticket, now it's the anticipation.
Right.
Because again, you don't have YouTube. You're going by what you're reading Cream Magazine or Hit Parade or Rolling Stone. Actually, Rolling Stone not so much, but Cream, Hit Parade, it's like, okay, so-and-so's on tour. You're starting to see some of the pictures from the shows.
Yes.
But you don't, and you're going, oh, wow, this is going to be cool and stuff. But they're not telling you, what songs they're playing. There's still such a mystery and an element of surprise. You don't know what's going on.
there were no set lists.
Yeah, there was no set list. You could download and stuff. You didn't know what was coming and stuff, and you would go and go, okay, this is cool. And anticipation would build.
I don't think they had curfews either back then.
Oh no, I don't think they really know. Because
outdoor amphitheaters now is 11 o'clock, 10:30, and some
Right.
arenas. I think arenas even have.
Well, we talked
curfews
about
now.
that in our live concerts, our best live shows and stuff, where your mom called my mom in a tizzy because we were at the Giles show.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. They're still
and they're
playing.
still out there.
Yeah.
Your mom's freaking out. They think
Yeah,
we're all
that
dead in a
demo-
ditch
that-
somewhere.
Now they play the set list.
Yeah.
There's no extras, there's no surprises.
Because basically a lot of these bands tour because some of these legacy bands or whatever are not really putting out any new music. So they just have their same set list they've been playing for the last how many years.
Yeah.
They throw in a song now or then.
Well, that's-
Back then they would be touring an album. You didn't know how many songs they're going to play off the new album. You
Right.
know, and what
Well, that's
other
another
song.
thing.
Yeah.
A band back
And
in,
you try to guess what the encore is
back in the
gonna be.
70s and
Yep.
80s,
I bet he's going to play this song.
a band went out and toured to push something, an album,
Yes.
whatever they had, a live album.
Yep.
Now, a band could come 3 times. Mm-hmm. And they're not even touring on anything. They're just touring.
playing. They're just playing, yeah.
Because that's how they're making their money now.
Yep.
Back in the day, a band, it was rare they'd even come twice on the same tour. If it was a big tour, like when Def Leppard,
'cause they were-
Pyromania, it had to be a really big album. They may come back for a second swing, but it was about a year later. Now, some of these guys come through twice for, sometimes 3 times. Or they'll open for somebody.
You're right. I recall a lot of bands coming through like in the winter or fall, and then they would come back and do the Pine Knob outdoor shed thing.
Right.
After
if it was a big...
if it's
the album
successful.
took off. If
Yeah.
the album took off, yeah.
'Cause you would
Or
see
they
a lot
might
of
have
times
come.
where
They might have come opening for somebody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then their album hit big, and then they came back on a headline.
Yeah, because like Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi, you see.
We went from Hart Plaza to opening for
Scorps. I remember the Scorps. one
Cinderella?
year. They just opened for the Scorps. I know that one time.
Right. Okay.
No, we went and saw them. We went and saw them in Port Huron.
Oh, with
opening
Rat.
for
With Rat, yeah, with Rat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the next album hits.
Yeah.
And then he was.
Yeah, because
headlining.
I think that one album was 7800
Yeah.
degrees
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
you could- yeah.
And then Slippery When Wet was, I think, didn't they start out opening for Scorpions on that one? And then it blew
Might
up?
have been.
Or
If they did, I didn't see that tour.
yeah, we seen the Scorps. It was the
When I saw the
Scorps.
Scorps, I didn't think it was Bon Jovi.
Yeah, Bon Jovi opened up.
No, I don't
We
think
blew-
it lasted long. I think they dropped off.
We kind of were like, yeah, all right, we already seen them once before, so we won't worry about it. I think
because that documentary they had talked about that. I think they went
their
off
album
the
took
tour
off.
quick because
Yeah, because their album took
blew
off,
up.
and they're like, the
Well,
manager's
and
like,
that happens a lot too. Is like a band will, like you said, they're starting off slow, and all of a sudden they take off, and then all of a sudden now the tables are turned, and now they're the headliners, or say, like Ted Nugent, who's huge here, would headline here,
Right.
but maybe not so much in New York.
Right. Well, that was that one.
Yeah.
I remember that one tour when he was opening for Bad Company,
Yeah.
and they were interviewing with the lead singer Howell. What the hell's
Brian
Brian
Howell.
Brian Howell. He was on the radio back when they used to, like say, when they used to pop in on the radio, and the DJ goes, "Hey, I thought you're headlining. You know, how come Ted's headlining here?" And he goes, "Ted doesn't open it for anybody in Detroit."
No.
So
You're
that's
right.
what. But no, it was.
So,
you know,
and kind of getting in touch with what Mike was saying too, is that we all saw it firsthand. The
Oh, yeah.
Quiet Riot.
yep. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we saw Quiet Riot open, and all of a sudden
Kaboom.
they started boom, and this was
And
really
then
short.
they did New Year's Eve.
That was
Yeah.
short. That turnaround was short. That was pretty much probably less than
That
a
was like-
year.
that was like-
But
yeah, it
they
was
would
like-
come, like Mike was saying, like they would come every couple of months. They would
Yeah.
but they'd be open for something different.
Yeah.
You know, we saw them with open up for Black Sabbath, which was weird.
But so you don't even see that now. You don't see a band really opening up for anybody and then hitting it big like
No.
it used to be.
No. Yeah.
You
There's
know,
there's none of that.
Or somebody maybe playing a club and they're all took off, and the next thing you know, like a Bon Jovi was playing, you know, Cobo or
Right.
Joe Louis Arena.
Yeah.
You don't see that much happening anymore.
Mike, you remember who opened up the first Kiss farewell tour at the LCA? Some guy was painting pictures.
I forgot about
There
that.
was some dude
Yeah.
who was painting these big portrait of Kiss and stuff. That was the opening band.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike,
That was
what the
bizarre.
hell's going on? He was like a super fast painter, and he's doing, he's doing the Bob Ross thing. You know,
Yeah.
he paints a picture within like a half hour or something.
Right.
So this guy's out there, and he just put it. We're like, what the hell's going on here?
Oh, it must
That's
be-
the opening band, a painter.
That must have been Paul's buddy, because Paul's now in the painting.
Yeah, he's
So he
in the painting
probably
now
did.
too. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably
Oh,
somebody.
yeah.
right?
He's selling his
Yeah,
art.
'cause he's been.
Yeah.
He's
I
an
guess
artist.
I guess it's been. It kind of took off.
It did. It's
That's
when I've
weird.
looked at it, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's.
It's not
I've
that-
seen some of his
it's-
stuff.
yeah.
They're all
It's-
painters. They're all either
I know.
selling booze
Yep.
Oh.
or painting.
Cougar Mellencamp. Wasn't
John
he a painter
Mellencamp,
too?
Yeah,
He's- oh, yeah, he's been doing
John
that.
was a painter. Yep. Back when
You ever
he
see
was.
the price of some of his art?
And you
It's
ever
like,
see
are
the
you
art?
kidding?
It's like, come on, are you serious?
It looks like, yeah, I don't even want to get into that.
let's not make fun of people that have more talent than us. Theoretically.
Stick to music.
But if you and I painted something like that and tried to sell
People
that,
laugh at us.
exactly. So, yeah, there's more than just
Yeah.
the art itself. It's the name attached to the art.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
all right, that went off on a tangent there.
No, that's all part. That's all part of touring now.
But then again, then you had, it started off pretty basic as far as kind of a semi-history of it. Remember, we all saw the Shea Stadium Beatles thing, right? Film
Yes.
clips and stuff.
Yep.
And the Beatles all said we didn't hear a damn thing. We couldn't hear it. We could have been singing the alphabet and no one, because this
They wouldn't have even
the
cared.
amps were
They wouldn't even.
horrible.
Yeah.
And the stage shows and everything else.
Well, I
But
think
as
they
it
had,
evolved, like by '69, they say the Stones and groups like that, the amplifiers were getting better. They were hanging them from the ceiling. Now
Mm-hmm.
it got you could actually hear the fans could hear the music and stuff instead
Right.
of just doing that.
Well, I think the Beatles came out and they just basically had their little amps,
Vox
and that's
amps
yeah.
and
They
stuff,
just that was they
yeah.
were
Yeah.
settled on the
Yeah.
on the thing next to them, and that's what they were playing on.
Yeah.
You know. But
But
yeah,
really,
like you said,
when you really
Yeah.
think about it, though, I really don't like going to the big, like they just announced AC/DC, right, coming
Yeah.
to Ford Field. I really don't
Oh, it's
care
Ford-
to go.
It's Ford Field.
Yeah.
Ford
Really?
Field.
Do you see who's in that band?
Yeah.
I was like, nobody left.
Yeah, Cliff Williams is out, and so is the drummer,
Phil
Paul-
Rudd.
Phil
yeah.
Rudd, he's out
And one
too.
of the guitar players is young, so I'm sure it's got to be either
his-
Angus or
it's
Malcolm
his
Skid or
cousin or-
cousin or
It's
something.
no, it's the older brother's son,
son.
the
Okay.
guy from
Figured he's a
Easy Beats,
relative.
the guy from the Easy Beats.
But it seems like the bigger bands, the ones that are, the ones that don't tour that often, and then they decide to go out like AC/DC or the Metallicas, they're playing these stadium shows. And, the last one I went to, I think, was the Stones at Comerica. And I got lucky because I sat in front of the speakers, the secondary speakers.
Okay.
And it sounded pretty good. I had a pretty decent seat. I got lucky. But my brother-in-law went and saw, I think it was Journey at Comerica, and he sat behind those speakers. He said it sounded terrible.
Right.
And then the band's 25 miles away. I just,
Right.
maybe back in the day when we were younger, it would have been a cool thing. I'm not into that anymore. It's like,
No,
I'm
it's-
not going to pay $350 because I'm sure that's what AC/DC will probably be more than that.
Really?
And yeah, they're saying they're going to be high tickets. And
Wow.
I just don't see the money value
Well, and
anymore.
the sound too. I mean,
the
not
sound,
so much Comerica
you're
Park.
not seeing them.
The Silver Dome used to be horrific.
Oh yeah, because that
shows.
stuff used to reverberate up in
my
the
goodness.
up in the rafters.
That was more you're going
See,
because
now I got
you're going to
lucky.
see the band. You're not going for anything.
The only
you
one
know.
I sat far away for, I got for some reason. Remember the first Stones gig for the Tattoo You tour
Yeah,
was that
we
mail-in,
went to that.
the mail-in one. You had to mail in and hope to get a ticket.
Santana and Iggy Pop.
Yeah. And I had a decent seat for that. But the one I sat the furthest for was U2 and I think it was Lone Justice.
Okay.
We were like in the back, and it sounded terrible. I never sat that far away at the Dome for a concert. For one of those. A couple times the Stones.
Big events,
I got lucky and got decent seats. But if you were up top, I can't imagine it sounded good.
We had,
And then I saw Kiss.
you know,
We had good seats for that one.
yeah, the
Kiss and Cheap Trick.
yeah,
Or New England.
yep, that was New England. Yeah,
Yeah. But I never sat in a real crappy seat other than that U2 concert.
Okay.
the big arenas now have those big, huge screens on there, and you catch yourself watching the screens more than you're watching the band.
Well, because you can't
so
see
you're
them
sitting here
anyway.
going, "What am I doing here?" I could
Exactly.
I could wait a year. This will be out on DVD. I could go buy it.
You're paying to go to an event.
Yeah.
Right. To hear,
They say you were there,
Yeah.
and where like back in the day when we were younger, if a band was that hot, they'd do 3 nights at
Yes.
a Joe
At
Louis
Joe
or
Louis
a
or something,
Cobo.
yeah. Yep.
Now it's all about money, and they
Well,
and then
it's-
now these old guys can't do 2 nights in a row, 3
Right.
nights in a row, so they just try to do these big stadium tours. I think AC/DC is only doing 13 shows so far here.
Okay.
So they're not even hitting New York. And
weird.
they're not playing Philadelphia.
Well,
they're missing a lot of major cities.
You're right.
Unless they're gonna come around.
I think they're hedging their bets. They're doing we're going to do 13, and we'll see how it goes, and then we'll start adding.
might do a second
'Cause
leg
Yeah,
or
they're not
something.
going to. They're
But-
not going to omit
And I
some
get
of
it. I mean,
those.
they're old. I mean, they need the rest. But back
'cause
in the
the-
day when a band
they
was
need to sit out.
when a band was hot, I mean, I think
Yeah.
Van Halen did 3 nights at Cobo.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. They would
And they don't remember any of them.
But now they want to do
Yeah.
the least amount of shows with the most people. I mean, it's an economics thing.
Some of the as Brian Johnson going to really be able to sit there and scream every frickin'
They got like 4 days off.
Yeah, that's what I'm
between all the
saying. Is
shows.
he's going to in a week he's only going to be able to do maybe 2 shows.
Well,
'cause his voice-
Metallica, they were doing all weekends.
Yeah.
They were doing I
Yep,
think
the
they would have some
Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sundays, but
Yeah.
they weren't doing anything during the week.
No, they would. Yeah, they would.
But that's costly to do that. But you don't. But again, they're playing stadiums. They're not playing Little Caesars or the arenas. They're doing stadiums.
Yeah.
And I think you lose I just don't like it.
You lose a lot.
You're stuck. Like I didn't go see the Stones last time. If they came back, I may consider going to see them one more time. But remember the Stones and the Some Girls tour? They played Masonic. I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
did a tour like that, they're never going to do that because
Well, no.
economics is not going to
Yeah.
dictate that.
Well, that's what even I remember listening to Keith was in an interview when he was still semi coherent back in the day. He said, "Yeah, we would do these big stadiums because if not, we go in to some of these places and have to play 3 to 4 nights in a row.
Yeah,
and it's like no, we
kill
come
the-
in, boom,
yeah.
and then we can go on
Right.
to the next one.
Two
Right.
birds, one stone. Just
Yeah.
get it all the way right now. But they did do, which is documented on the 40 Licks DVD set, they were doing bars, stadiums, and then arenas.
Okay.
So they did they showed the big outdoor shows, like the Madison Square Garden, and they showed Buddy Guy's, place in Chicago.
Why don't they ever do one here? Nobody ever does those kind of gigs here. They're always in California or.
Well,
Why doesn't a band ever do a
like a
pop-
small,
huh?
like a small bar?
A club, yeah.
Because we don't have any anymore.
we don't really have any.
Yeah, we don't.
They could find somewhere to play.
Yeah, I mean they could probably do
I think they could do something with Harpo's.
probably Harpo's or something like that.
And now you're running into who would go down to Harpo's.
I mean, even if they did,
Hey, if the
even if
Stones
they did
played
a
there.
state theater. I
Yeah.
mean,
The state
somebody-
theater.
Oh, I
Yeah.
would. You want to sell me on Harpo?
Oh,
I'd go
yeah,
down there for
Yeah.
see Cheap Trick or something. But I mean,
Right.
the general populace,
Yeah.
people living in Shelby Township, are not like, where's that at? That's off of what?
But even
What are
younger
you,
bands.
nuts?
I mean, these older guys are going to go out for the money. They're not going to play.
Yeah,
these
they're not gonna-
places.
yeah. I mean, they can't.
But even the younger bands or the younger acts, they're not doing stuff like that. You don't hear about a Taylor Swift playing at a small club or
No.
doing a small arena. I mean, she's playing the big places, the Ford Fields and the football stadiums and Wembley and all that.
Yeah.
Or look at this Oasis thing. The
Boy,
guys,
this thing's starting to snowball.
they
Eh?
haven't played in 15 years, and they've got they're playing 7 or 8 nights in Wembley.
Okay.
Yeah.
That holds 100,000, I think, people.
No, I don't think Wembley.
Wembley's
It's
big.
big. I don't know if
Oh,
it
they-
holds that
okay.
much.
I thought
but
I heard about 100,000.
they got an
Really?
indoor Wembley arena and they
Oh,
got
okay,
a Wembley
then
stadium.
they-
Like the
oh,
one
well,
you
the
see
soccer.
Queen.
They're
Yeah.
playing the
Okay, the
stadium.
soccer.
You've
the
seen
soccer.
Queen and the Elton John stuff.
And they
That's-
said that
yeah.
if they wanted to, they could. Taylor Swift's got the record, I guess,
Okay.
and they could easily break it. That's how much it's in demand right now over there.
Okay.
And they're going to come. They said they're going to tour America.
Oh, there. Okay. Because
But
First they
are
gotta-
they going
for
to
starters-
draw the?
for starters, they got to
Ford
make it.
Field?
For starters, they got to make
I
it
don't know
through.
if they.
Could they do that?
I don't know.
I don't think over here. No.
You don't think so?
No, I mean,
See,
they were,
again,
they
it's
were
a big
but they
event
were
now.
really huge
It's
in
been
England.
it's been big publicity what they're doing overseas because they're playing. I think they're doing Japan,
Yeah. Okay.
but everywhere they've sold out instantly for big money, $200, $300 a ticket. So they're going to come to America, but I don't know. I don't know what they're going to if it's going to be one of those things that they're going to build it up so much
that possibility.
that they're going to play a Ford
And
Field.
what's the price point? You think they're going to be arrogant enough to say that? Hey,
They are right now and overseas.
well, they can because again in Europe they're huge,
Right.
so they could pull that off.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I don't
they
know if
could.
you could play that game over here because I don't think people are going to say no, they're not worth that
Yeah,
much.
I like Oasis, but I wouldn't pay $300 and go see them at Ford
No.
Field.
And then what Kurt was trying to say before we jumped on him and stuff is that they may be dead before they get here. They might,
That's
they might just
well,
kill
that's
each
the next
other.
question. I wonder
Yeah.
if there's insurance taken out on
Yeah.
that tour,
I'm sure
man.
there's- I'm
They're
sure
gonna-
there is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they should put
They
them
just
on a
said-
tour with the Black Crows and stuff and
Yeah,
have like a
let
big
them-
rumble
Black-
between the brothers.
And then another
Or
one.
switch the guys. Have Chris Robertson sing with Oasis. Keep the brothers separated.
And then another band that went
Gotta
out
keep 'em separated.
after being kind of gone for a while was they said My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
Which I'm no fan of. And apparently they're selling out everywhere. They haven't played in 10 years or 8 years or something.
Okay.
They
What are they
announced
playing?
the tour.
What size
They're playing
venues?
big places. So it's like these bands that are coming back for these
Well, look at the Cure
reunions.
this summer.
Who?
Pine The Cure.
Yeah, but that was cool what he did. He held
He
ticket
raised
prices
those
down.
prices that
Yeah.
nice and
Yeah. What was
cheap.
it?
He
20,
was smart.
20 something. I mean, even T-shirt prices
Yeah.
were really low too.
Yeah.
I wish more bands would do that.
Yeah.
Because they keep saying, "Oh,
made
it's,
that back
it's,
up in
it's,
volume.
Live Nation, it's the promoters, it's the
No,
bands.
it's the
The
band,
bands have the bottom line say.
Yeah, because they're the ones playing
you
it.
know, like
Yeah.
Springsteen when he did that Broadway thing, tickets were like $1,000.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh yeah, you're for the blue collar, the blue collar man." He had a lot to say. He didn't have to charge $1,000.
Right.
No.
You know,
You could call your own shots. And if you want
Yes.
to call your shots and say, no, I want to make this affordable and stuff, I can make this affordable.
Yep. They don't even have to use Ticketmaster. They could sell their tickets online. Some bands have
Go
done
right
that.
the damn box
There was
office.
a band.
Go old school.
I think it was. Oh man, I can't think of them. There was one band that did that one tour.
With what?
They
That
sold
did
the
what?
tickets online from their website.
Radiohead?
No, fuck. I can't
Pearl
think
Jam?
of it. No,
No, I
it's
think I
more
know-
modern alternative rock.
Yeah, I think I
heavy
know
metal.
what he's talking about. I thought it was
It's not
Radiohead, though.
Was it Godsmack? I don't know. I think it might have been Godsmack a couple
Okay.
years ago. Did it?
So they bypass Ticketmaster or
Yeah.
or whatever they're now or
But for some reason, it must be costly to do that or something. I don't know. Because more bands would I think would do it.
wait. Well, you gotta. I mean, one thing when you do that, you're running the risk of the volume coming in to everybody buying at once the tickets are released.
But they say that the Ticketmaster and StubHub are all one company. The StubHub's part of Live Nation, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, 'cause they have-
they're
I
driving
found
the
that out
tickets-
this year. We went to buy Tiger tickets and stuff. I went on StubHub for the first time. I didn't realize it was connected to
Yeah, they're connected.
Ticketmaster.
So they're
Like,
getting the
okay.
good seats, and then they're selling them on StubHub.
Yes.
But
They're
yet you and I
raising the
can't
price
scalp
up.
a ticket,
Right,
Or
yeah,
we'll get
they're-
arrested. That's another thing I
I
don't
know.
quite get is a StubHub deal where you can sell to StubHub, They can sell them for whatever they want,
Right.
but you get caught selling a ticket for $1 over its face value, and you'll get arrested.
Yeah.
Stupid. But
So now for our genre of music and stuff, you're talking about Ford Field and stuff. Obviously, they drags a lot of country music, the acts and stuff like that now, and the pop acts. How many more rock and roll bands are going to be able to do something like Ford Field?
not many.
I mean, 5 years from now, Stones are probably not going to be doing it. Guns N' Roses.
It all depends how much the Stones tour. If they take, I don't know how many more years they can take off. I mean,
Right.
one's already dead.
I think
the Stones can still play Ford if they want.
It was.
to.
I mean, I seen on YouTube they played.
See, I always thought
it was
Foo Fighters
California.
would be that next band that could do the mega shows and stuff, but I haven't seen that come to fruition yet.
Nah, they're kind of an in-betweener.
Unless he's happy playing like arenas.
Can you see? You think they're big enough to sell Ford Field out? I don't know.
Well, you throw a nice opening
They can do
package on
They
there.
can do Little Caesars easy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to do Ford Field,
Ford
I mean,
Field, how many? What's
you have,
the whole-
you have
it's
to
not-
have about 3 bands on the
At least,
bills.
yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to- you
To
have to-
make it
But
sexy.
Ford Field really isn't that big for a football stadium.
That one, no. That
No,
one,
it's
there-
only like, what, 38 something?
no 65.
60? Oh,
Yeah,
what
it's
am I
like
thinking?
60.
The old Silverdome was 80,000.
Yeah.
This one's like 65.
Still a lot of people.
It's a lot of people to get into one
But
spot.
there's not too
probably
many.
Plus,
you add
you're
more
counting the
'cause
floor, too.
Right, then you got to add the floor in
Yeah.
too.
There's only there's only a few. There's Metallica. There's AC/DC.
Bon Jovi could probably do.
I don't think.
I
Bon
don't
Jovi.
know.
No,
I know
no
when
way.
when you watch that documentary thing, he did talk about. He goes, well, he did
Comerica
talk about
Park's
doing
probably his
stadiums.
limit, and even then, that's probably on the other side of
I
that.
can't see him doing. He a couple years ago.
Right,
maybe.
that's what- yeah.
I think he's kind of lost some.
Well, yeah, he can't even. I don't think he can even tour anymore.
But even Guns N' Roses, they've been touring now for a good 5 years.
Well,
I think they've kind of worn their welcome out.
yeah,
a
you're
little
right.
bit.
How many times are you going to see Guns N' Roses?
When they did the first
There's
tour,
nothing new.
yeah, when they did the first tour,
Yeah.
again, they didn't play for a while. They easily sold.
No, yeah,
Ford.
the original. Well,
But I don't know if they could come back around and do Ford Field again.
probably not. I mean, people are like, already done that.
They've been here enough.
Now, change the subject. You guys like the outside, like the baseball stadium shows? No?
No,
That falls in with the big
falls in
Ford
with the
Field and
stadium.
stuff?
I just
Yeah.
think you're still either unless you get a decent seat
Right.
and sitting in the right spot.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
for
yeah,
me
'cause-
now, just being older, I
Yeah.
just don't enjoy it. I'd rather see a stadium like a hockey rink or smaller. Even if you're sitting in the back of Little Caesars, you're far away. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, then you're looking at the screens and
Hey, you spend the whole time watching TV.
yeah,
You're not really watching the band, you're watching TV.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing?
it's
Why are we doing this?
And then the other thing too is back when we were buying tickets, when you had to wait in line or go to Ticketmaster, it was ticket prices were the same. It was main floor was 50,
Yep.
up tier C was 25 or whatever. Now they got this. I went on like Teo wanted to go see the Stones the last time they were here. One seat in the upper levels 200, 3 rows down 400. Their ticket prices were all over the board, and they change them by demand. And when they first
you're
went on,
right.
Yeah.
Tier C used to be the cheapest. It'd be like $9. And then
$9.
Tier B would be like maybe 10, 50.
Yep.
Then the red seats would be Tier A, would be a little more.
And they were all
then
the same
floor was
price.
all- yeah. Yeah.
Now you got main floor first. Freedom Hill. The pit is $300. You could be the next row back. Now they're $275. I mean, my God, the main floor's got 5 different pricing scales now. Depending on what seat you're going to be. It wasn't like that before. Main floor
Would you
was.
ever do that? Get one of those pit seats?
Would I?
Yeah. I mean, the cost is just so
No, I wouldn't
outrageous.
pay the $300. I'm not paying $300 to go see anybody
No.
anymore. I mean, I just
It's a car payment.
not doing it.
Yeah.
And and it does. If you wait, sometimes like if the show's not selling,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you wait till the day of the
prices
show,
will come
drop.
down. They're going to get that money though on the people that are the diehards that want to go.
Yeah.
Like this guy, he wanted to see Judas Priest at Freedom Hill. He sat in like the 5th row, And I think he told me he paid like $350 a ticket.
Wow.
I'm like, you're out of your mind. Mm-hmm. You know?
Ouch. Yeah, that's too much.
I mean, even Aerosmith, one of my favorite bands, I wouldn't pay $300 to go see Aerosmith. I didn't even consider that last tour. I knew the tickets were going to be expensive.
Outrageous, yeah.
And I thought, I like them. I've seen them in their heyday. You know, I'm not paying $300 to go see them. Mm-hmm. Last tour or not, you know.
Now, have we figured out what they're doing?
They're done.
Steven?
Last I heard,
Yeah, as far as I know, they're done.
Really, usually Steven was...
They've been quiet.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
What has anybody ever done?
Not really.
You know.
No, because there's other bands that will say, yeah, we're done.
Stevie Ray Vaughan's done.
Yes.
Yeah, if they're dead, they're pretty much done, yeah.
But I mean, even that Tom Hamilton thing that was supposed to be, as far as I know, didn't really materialize in anything.
It didn't get any legs.
What, his new band?
Yeah, the new band.
Well, they played one show. They're
that
supposed
was
to have
it?
an album come out,
Okay.
but I don't remember
So
the name
I mean,
of the band.
why even go through all that and just play one show?
I don't know.
You know, I mean, it was most likely at a small little club, so
And the other
it's not
thing
like
is,
anybody could have seen
what's a guy like Joe Perry going to do? Start a new band? You see what happens when some of these old guys try to start a new band?
Yeah,
they're playing at the Token Lounge.
He'll get the project back up.
it. Well, that was. Well,
Yeah,
that
where did he
was
play with the project last time?
Token Lounge.
Pontiac.
Yeah,
Played
yeah,
with Pontiac.
Yeah,
You know,
they didn't play.
there was
He's not playing like Kobo. I don't
In fact,
think he played.
Geezer Butler tried to start that band. I forgot who was in it with him. And they had an album come out,
Yeah.
and they started a tour of clubs, and he finally just said, you know what, I ain't doing this.
Well,
I'm not riding on a
It was
bus.
an abbreviation.
Well,
it was
that was
a group of letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was same with like when Steven Adler decided to go out when he was Adler's Appetite or whatever. He's like, he did it for a while. He's like, I'm playing these clubs
On
in
a
front
bus.
of 30 people half the time. He goes, why?
Yeah.
Why?
And then
Ego.
Geezer Butler's in Black Sabbath driving, private planes and flying to every. He's Joe Perry ain't going to do that.
No.
They're not. None of these old guys are going to start a new band and schlep around in a van.
No.
And they're not.
Yeah, sleeping
They're not
in
going to
some-
make enough money on their ticket sales to tour with planes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool if they come out with music or something. But really, are they going to play a stadium? I don't think so.
I don't see. Because I mean, when he had the project the first time around, he was playing clubs the whole time.
He opened up a couple
Right.
stadium shows for somebody, and then I think Mike, you saw him at Royal Oak.
Yep.
But
Me and
other
Danny
than that, he
Degorian.
didn't headline any like hockey rinks.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I don't
And that
see
was
stuff
in
like
the
Yeah, we all
80s.
read a lot of these guys' autobiographies about guys sleeping on the luggage in the back of a station wagon,
Yeah.
and, sleeping on their equipment. Do you think these bands coming out now, these young kids have experienced that, or are they just kind of going
I think
from
they are.
they're going right from
probably
YouTube to
No, they're probably
If they're touring, they're touring in a van.
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
not a bus.
It's expensive. They
Well, I
said
get-
that.
I would
I heard.
imagine.
I heard Tom Kiefer on the radio saying he's still bussing. He's touring on a tour bus,
Right.
and he said it's getting costly, man, to rent a bus for a tour.
Okay.
The prices are all going up, and the economy was what it was.
Right.
Gas was up. He goes, it's expensive going out there and touring.
I see.
So these little guys that are, these local bands that are trying to make it, they're I bet you they're in cars and vans with a little trailer in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably to a degree, depending. Because I mean, a lot of them, depending on where they play, or if they're even touring with a couple different bands, they just probably use the house equipment, you
Yeah.
know, and just bring their own amp and guitars and stuff.
Yeah, if they're
like that.
playing clubs like the Magic Bag and stuff like that, they got a house system. They
Yeah.
just got to bring their amps and instruments. But still,
So, I mean, but
they
still,
got to
that
get from
means-
gig to gig. They're
Right?
driving.
Yeah, they're driving. Like say,
And that's another thing. Back in the day, when we were younger, if a guy in a band got sick, hurt himself, they canceled the tour. Or they didn't put replacement guy in.
There was.
Def Leppard had, Vivian Campbell had to go get chemotherapy, and they brought in, I forgot who it was, the guy from Bon Jovi.
Sambora.
No,
He's got a couple guys. Yeah,
he's got the letter in his name. What the hell's his name? I can't think of his name. Played with Triumph for a little bit.
Yeah,
He's well-known guy. He's traveled around, but they brought him in to finish the tour. Dusty Hill died 3 days later. ZZ Top was playing a concert. If a guy died in the 70s and 80s, they weren't playing.
AC/DC had Axl singing for him for a while.
Yeah, because in ZZ Top they had his bass tech.
And he's still doing it. Yeah. You know, but that's how things have changed. It's all money, man.
Well, now there's. I mean, I'm trying to remember back even in the 70s.
Was it hard for you? To try to remember back to that?
That's what I'm trying to remember. It's like, okay. It's kind of the only thing is like, hey, if you're telling me, I guess I was there, but I don't remember.
You got a picture of me there? I was there.
Okay, all right. That proves it. No, I mean, it seems like they almost have those like a group of musicians waiting to fill in wherever, if someone can't make a gig or something, you got, it's like that's where the junior system comes in, for baseball or hockey, where you call up the guy to come in and pitch for a day or something. That's where they got like musicians that are like.
Well, when that whole COVID thing was going on and touring started again, every one of those bands had somebody ready in the wings in case somebody got COVID, because they couldn't afford to cancel the tours. Because once they're out there, they're out there.
Yeah, because they were paying.
So they had a lot of those bands had fill-in guys ready, but back in the '80s, you wouldn't have seen that. You didn't. If a guy did a solo album, it was a big deal. Is he quitting the band? He's doing a solo album. Right. Now they're in 3 different bands. They got fill-in guys for them.
Well, the first time I seen Michael Schenker at St. Andrews, the bass player got pissed off and didn't show up for the gig, so they played the gig without a bass player.
Really?
Yeah. Someone, the announcer goes, "Hey, Chris Glenn's not here today, so you still want to see the band?" Everybody went, "Yeah, sure." And Michael came out and played.
At least they gave you an option.
Yeah. And so I guess what happened was he ended up quitting the band, and then so they get another bass player in. But he played the gig without a bass player that day.
Can't say ever seeing something like that.
The bass. I mean, obviously the keyboards kind of probably filled in a little bit more on some of the bass stuff and things like that. But yeah.
Another thing you don't see anymore? Remember bands would play, and after the gig, they'd go play at a club somewhere, surprise. Like Giles played at Bookie's one time.
Yeah.
Somebody played, it might have been Springsteen, went to Hamtramck, and forgot which place in Hamtramck he went to. You don't see bands ever do that anymore. The Police did it.
Well, because you could do it back then in secrecy. Now, if somebody gets a whiff of it, next thing you know, it's been on Twitter and TikTok. Next thing you know, you have a shitload of people.
I mean,
you want to do that back then. You
phones.
want to do that kind of under the covers. You could do that back then because there wasn't all this. Even a phone call, you had to go run to a phone. You didn't have a cell phone to tell somebody.
Right.
Hey, holy shit, so and so is over here at Lily's.
No, you just don't see too many. You don't even see. Before a guy would come up and play with somebody, or even at a concert. If somebody was in town. But you don't see that much anymore. People doing that.
What was it? The Romantics played Tracks that one time, kind of as a last minute thing, where they played a gig and they announced it earlier that day. They put it out on the radio or something like that, but they were to do something, that they're playing.
Right.
And that.
Now, kind of circling back, to put a bow on this, we were talking about how we used to get alerted to concerts and be all pumped up. Now, kids today, how do they find out about concerts? They don't read rock magazines. Are they just going by what's on the internet?
They go on their website.
You could just type in a band name and it'll say this is where the play. This is where
you got to be focused on. I'm looking for a specific band. We used to like you said, go back to the Sunday paper and say, "Holy shit, they're coming."
No,
there was a lot of bands who go see it. And said, well, I didn't know they were coming or they're going to be here, unless you said, "Okay, I want to go see this band," and go on their website.
Just look at their social media. Their social media.
Like my son. This summer,
but where's the adventure to research on a new band then?
Doesn't.
He liked this guy. He's like a country rap kind of guy or something.
Shabuzi?
I have no idea. So like this summer, he said that he goes, "Yeah, we're going to a concert," and I go, "Where at?" He goes, "Birch Run." I go, "It's like a shopping center." He goes, "No, it's whoever this guy was is playing a concert out there," and he drove all the way out to Birch Run to see this guy, and I guess they set up somewhere in the parking lot. I don't know how they did it.
Really?
But I go, how did you even hear about this? He goes, it's social media. I got alert that he was going to be coming to town, and so that's how they find this stuff out now. It's all social media, Instagram.
Do you know who it was?
Nah, I don't know.
Was it Shabuzi?
He actually played some. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that guy.
Okay.
It was more country than it was rap.
Okay.
But it was country type. And
country.
He was. I won't get
Colt Ford? Was it Colt Ford?
It wasn't bad. No, I don't know, man. You're not gonna.
Yeah, I just find it'd be kind of
Gilbert Brantley or Brantley Gilbert?
It would be difficult if you had specifically look for the bands you
No,
like.
it's just what you do.
You don't get to expose yourself to.
No, I mean the new way now is with all the social media stuff is you are part of their media page. As far as a list of friends or contacts, and when they put out a tweet or Instagram post or a Facebook post, boom.
If you ever hear an interview with any of these people now, what's the last thing they know? Okay, where can we find you? I can find you on my website, or you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on my Twitter account, or and that's what they promote.
Yep, it's all social media. Now, so,
everything we're doing is on our social media.
All right, now getting back to off of that, do you think their excitement level is the same as we had?
Their excitement level?
Yeah, when the band's coming or something, or they just know so much in advance and stuff.
No, I don't think it is the same.
There's no excitement building on there because
it's just
they don't even know what it was like. The younger kids, what it was back then.
Because that was half the excitement, was just, oh my gosh, so and so's coming. It's going to be a couple months.
Oh, you had to work to get a ticket.
Yeah,
I mean, you like nowadays, you on their social media, you go to like say, a platform and that there's always. Well, if you like this group of this song, you may like this other thing. So,
the Pandora method.
Yeah. So I mean, so you hear about things. You hear about. So there's really no searching. It's just they do the searching for you. It's all right there, and you go, okay, I'll check this out. I mean, even when I would purchase some stuff off of iTunes, there'd always be other people that purchased this song or this album, this group, they also purchased this, and they give you a list of about. Somewhere between a half dozen to a dozen others.
Just like Netflix. You watch a Netflix thing.
Oh, yeah.
It tells you underneath, if you liked that, since you liked that show, we think you might like this.
So now, like if you typed in Dan Fogelberg, it says where you might like, they have like nothing under there?
That'd be blank. It would be blank.
It'd be like Jackson Brown.
No, it wouldn't. It would be blank.
You might like a bullet in the head.
We can't believe you actually watched or listened to this.
You
should feel shame.
Why did you watch this?
You should feel shame.
Oh no, there's a big old list of stuff there. A lot of stuff you could pick from. All this
Laura
stuff.
Nero.
Laura Nero.
Who's the other Barbara Streisand and that whole thing there? All right, I'm sorry.
Petula Clark. Yeah.
I like Petula Clark. But anyway,
like where would Dan Fogelberg play right now?
Oh, I'm sure he could probably sell out Ford Field.
No, he'd be one of those Meadowbrook dudes.
Yeah,
he'd be a Meadowbrook. Maybe Pine Knob.
No way.
Maybe at the one point, but you're probably a Meadowbrook. He would probably be more of a Meadowbrook.
He'd be at the Ark in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Wow. He'd be at St. Clair Shore Memorial Day, Memorial Park.
He'd be the summer concert series at Memorial Park.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, my Lord.
Fogelberg.
But no, I mean,
it's
different now. And
no, it is. It's sad too because you really, really get jacked and pumped for these shows, and now it's like, like I said, we can go watch it on like the Van Halen, the last tour. So I watched a couple shows from Montreal and one from Tennessee before I even thought of buying tickets. I go, I'm not buying tickets to this. This is a mess. Mm-hmm. I've done a couple bands too. I said, okay, I watched like the Judas Priest show. I was thinking about you asked to go. I'm looking at it going. The set list is kind of weak, and that's right. So I saw right beforehand. I'm going.
Well, now if you notice,
the thing is price. I'm not going to pay that
Now a lot
money.
of these older legacy acts, you see what they're doing. They're playing those residencies in Vegas.
Oh, that's easy
Scorpions
money.
are doing another one.
Yeah.
Now
you can plant
your flag.
Sphere.
You can plant your flag for your flag for a whole week
it's
and stuff.
Ideal. Again, it's all business.
There.
I mean, the time, everything's changed,
well, I mean, plus, most of these bands, most of these guys don't want to sit there and tour and go from hotel to hotel or sleep in the.
Let them come to you.
Yeah, that's basically what that's why they're doing.
I'm going to be in Vegas. You come to me. I'm not coming to you and.
But you got to be in a major city. The only cities that can pull it off is
Oh,
Vegas,
Vegas.
California, maybe
Yeah.
New York.
Right, yeah.
They're never going to have a
Oh, you
residency
can't.
here.
No, yeah, there's no.
They're not going to build a Sphere in Detroit.
No.
You know, but
I heard that place is supposed
Is
to
that
be
bizarre?
really
it's
interesting.
supposed to be
I saw
cool
the
as hell.
YouTube part of the YouTube show there, and it just
It was weird
It's
looking.
really disorientating because it's kind of like they show it
all-
on the
all over the
walls,
place,
and
yeah.
it's like you're
But
inside
there's
this
something
big golf ball.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that too. It's like another thing that's really changed is definitely production of these concerts now is way different than when we were watching them
Well, it's a
in the
hell of a lot
70s
better,
and
yeah.
80s. I mean, it was a big deal when a Flash Plot or when Kiss came. That was it was a huge production,
Yeah.
right? Nobody was doing that. Now everybody's got explosions and video screens and sometimes I'd like to strip down away. Sometimes that's too much now.
Yeah,
It is kind of an overload. I get
It's
you.
like who can,
I don't
who can
see
have the most
someone
lights? Who can have the
spinning up in
brightest?
the air. Yeah, and someone spinning up in the air.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, it's getting kind of like
With the light system,
Let's pull
yeah.
it back a little bit. Get,
Right.
get
But-
more focused on what the music was.
But that's what people are going.
Think about it.
Like Pink. I mean, they were doing they did
Yeah.
a big thing about Pink, and
Oh, yeah,
she's
she's
got
doing
a
like
thing.
trapeze
She,
artists
she
and stuff
canceled.
like that.
She canceled some show. I think she canceled here.
Oh, really?
Because for whatever known reasons, when they have unknown reasons, it's typically because nobody was selling tickets.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think she charges quite a bit too.
Oh, I'm assuming she does. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with some of these bigger bands in the next couple of years.
Like I went
How
and
high
seen.
can you
I don't
go
know
on a
how. I mean, I don't know how. I
Yeah,
mean,
what's the end of it? What can you do? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, like you said, the Kiss thing, everything it builds and builds. At what point is there's nothing else to go? There's
No.
nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
You know,
Like Metallica's
you
tour,
had the bands that go
pretty
out
heavy
in
now.
the crowd and stuff. You had the bands that
Are
fly
they
over
going
the
to go
big-
away
yeah.
for a while and then charge more money next time around, or
Could be.
are they going to
I mean,
hit a wall?
that could. That's what it could be.
And if they hit a wall, are they going to play at Little Caesars? Are they going to play up Pine Knob?
I'm sure probably not. I mean, they'll probably because they've already done that.
Right. That might be the time.
Because
when-
the
I
last
could
time-
see them doing LCA.
I mean, because they came here and they did what was it? What was Ford Field? Did 2
Oh,
nights.
2 nights back to back.
But
Yeah,
they-
that's
I don't-
ballsy.
They're not going to.
and they played both
Different sets,
Different
yeah.
sets.
But again, they're
That
not
was a
going to.
gr- that's a great
And they've
move.
already
Yeah.
said it. They're not going to go out and do 100 city
Right.
tour anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
so they're not doing even every other third night. They're doing weekends, and I don't blame them. They're getting top dollar. They're playing they said they're flying in and going home
Oh
after.
yeah, well because that's what a lot of these bands now. I mean, who wants to sit there and hop on a tour bus and drive for 8 hours or whatever to hit your 5 hours or whatever, hitting your next concert, sleeping in the bus, going in, showering or whatever, maybe staying at a hotel occasionally, but they're back on the bus. Who wants to? I mean, if you're 70, 50, 60, 70, 80, you don't want to be doing that. That's why they fly in. That's why they're doing weekends. They fly in and fly out.
Nope.
What you guys said about Metallica, is that interest you if your favorite band was playing 2 nights in a row and they're playing 2 separate sets? Would you go to both nights?
Not for $300.
That was
Well, that was another thing. What would
that
be
was
the
per
price
night,
point?
wasn't it? That was per night.
Yeah, you still had to
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah. But
I think they cut you a little break if you bought both.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, there was
you're
a-
looking
there-
at $500.
Right. There was a
insane.
package
No,
deal
that's-
for both.
that's
it was a
nuts.
package deal for both or something, but
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
those days are over, man. I'm not. I'm not
But
spending
in
much
general, though,
money.
if that was reasonably priced and stuff,
You think about it though. You got that. You're paying to get down there. You're paying to park.
oh, that's
You're paying for
pain
your
in the
beer
ass.
and your food. I mean, that's an $800, $900 night.
Yeah.
Or a weekend.
Yep.
It's crazy. To go see a band.
I
I know we all like music and like these guys when they came up and stuff, but I've hit my ceiling. I'm not. There's
Yeah.
not anybody that
I mean,
I'm going to go
but
see.
I'm
for
slowing
that
my
kind of
roll,
money.
but I
too.
mean, I think there's by playing a handful of shows, then that's where you get people to come in because they sell them how far in advance, so you could play less dates at bigger arenas, and hopefully, if people are flying in to see you at Detroit.
I wonder if they
Chicago
are. I just can't
or-
believe anybody's got them. Well, even Taylor Swift that has that. Her tickets were like $1,000, weren't they?
Well, those were, I think, aftermarket. I think they were like
After they
400.
sold out?
Yeah.
But I don't think they were cheap.
Not the no the base price or the original price
Just think
was still
about that. Let's say
expensive.
you had two
but
kids that like Taylor Swift and you had to get them tickets.
You're not going to college,
That's
kid.
insane.
there were
And then the merchandise they sell. They
I mean,
said
there was
the
people-
merchandise.
Well, you know
There
what? They were
was people
smart.
copying
It was she actually had trailers outside
Yes.
the arena, so if you
Couple
couldn't get
days-
in, you
Stones
could
did
still
that.
buy
The Stones
T-shirts.
did that too.
a couple days beforehand.
Yeah.
They were. She was
I
playing
thought
Friday
that
and
was a
Saturday. They were on like
genius
Wednesday and
move.
Thursday.
That's unbelievable.
So
She
you
was
still get
making
your,
them.
if you're a fan, you can't get in. You still got your. Oh, I've got a shirt. I got a tour shirt.
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
were lined up for a couple hours. You were
The
like
last
a couple
time
hours.
I forgot which tour it was. The Stones when they did Co-America, I went, and it had to be because my brother went, and he's not even here anymore. So they had trailers set up, and I mean, you could pick 30 different shirts, right? You remember when we went, you maybe had 3 shirts to pick
You
from.
had the short sleeve
Yeah.
and the baseball
Now it's
jersey
like-
white with the either color, red color,
And that's the
blue,
shirts.
whatever.
Then they
Maybe
got
the
the
cutoff,
jacket.
the
Yeah.
They got
sleeveless.
they got the $700 bomber jacket. They got
Yeah.
the headband, the wristbands. They got anything you want.
tour books.
Tour books.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they had a little stand with 3 shirts, a sticker,
Yep.
a patch maybe to sew on your pants, and that was it.
And maybe a tour booklet.
But look how far that's come. I mean,
yeah.
And I think the first shirt I bought was that I bought an Aerosmith shirt. I think it was $10. Mm-hmm.
I think
now
the
they're
most shit I
55.
ever bought was with you guys with the Animalize tour. I had a tour book, a sleeveless sweatshirt, a bandana.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
No, yeah, I just
Did you
didn't.
buy
You
any
were metal,
buttons?
though.
Did you buy any
What?
buttons? Buttons? Foam finger? Did you have a foam finger out of it?
No, it was a foam. I'm surprised it didn't have like a foam figure thing
It's-
there.
it's
They
the-
marketed
'cause-
everything else.
Yeah, Gene with the.
Yeah.
That's the other thing we didn't even talk about, are the meet and greets.
Yeah.
Now you got to pay for that.
No, that's not happening.
Remember we went and saw Def Leppard and they all came out in the Olympia room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a couple, 3 of them.
Yeah, a couple of them came out.
Yeah,
You were
I
able to
know.
talk to them and it didn't cost you anything. Now
Yeah.
that's $1,000 to have that
I
happen.
wouldn't do that. That was crazy.
And people are paying for that too.
And did you hear one of the Motley Crue tour ones on people that were paying big money for stuff like that?
Yeah, what?
That was basically what it was is, stand here. They would come out. They stood behind you. They
Yeah.
clapped a
Behind a
picture. You
screen
didn't
or
get to
something,
say anything
glass.
to them.
No
People were
shit.
pissed. Yeah, they
Oh,
thought
yeah.
they thought it was a meet and greet. It wasn't.
I heard
Turned
a
out not
couple-
to be a meet and greet.
I heard somebody talking about the Scorpions one too. They weren't happy.
Really?
Yeah, the
Yeah. You
Scorpions
basically.
kinda-
I mean, they were paying big.
Oh, I
top,
thought they'd be kind of friendly.
Nah, well, it's not the band. Again, it's the management that sets
Right.
this all up. They dictate what they're going to
So
do.
they basically got like a bank teller line thing there, one of those cordoned off things there. They walk behind that. You're on the other side of that. And you just
Pretty
they just
much.
stick their-
Sometimes it's a
they just stick,
plexiglass.
they stick your
up.
head
Yeah.
in front of it.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's even plexiglass. They're behind the plexiglass. You're waving at them through the glass.
That's bullshit.
I've
Yeah.
seen
I mean,
that. Kiss
yeah.
did it. Kiss did it. But that was COVID too.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
No, this was one of the tours where they said they had the people, you stand at this point, and then there were spots on behind them where the band stood. And it was like they were, it was like it wasn't
Yeah.
even like right behind you. It was probably like a little over an arm's length away. They go, don't even turn around and talk to them. They snapped a picture and gave them a picture, and that was it. And they walked off, and these people paid like they
Now, did
paid
you see
big
any of the
bucks.
YouTube
That's
videos
a
of
rip-off.
Alex Van Halen doing his little book tour?
Yes.
He looked cool.
I saw
He was
the
letting people come up, take pictures,
Yeah.
shaking their hands. He looked like he was pretty
I
cool.
saw the interview with the girl that he wrote the book with, the New York Times reporter and stuff. Actually, it was pretty fascinating because I thought he was kind of an asshole. After I
Yeah.
listened to that thing, he seemed pretty well together as far as what their vision was and what they were going to do and stuff. And I may actually buy the book based on that because I just thought he was just a party guy.
I heard-
the most famous Alex Van Halen quote I remember in the day was, "Geez, I'm having so much fun. I wish I had 3 dicks." You know,
Did they ask him about that? No.
no, yeah,
No,
he should have.
I know they said he doesn't want to do a lot, but he doesn't want to talk about Sammy Hagar. There's things that he's
Right,
off
yeah,
limits
yeah,
on.
that's what-
But I thought he was cool as hell with the crowd.
Well, the interview I saw, the girl that helped write the book and stuff, she was kind
Yeah.
of feeding him questions
Yeah,
that she
yeah.
knew he would answer.
But no, there's some footage of him at a Barnes and Noble and wherever he was at in California. I think he did one on the East Coast.
Okay.
And he was standing up and taking pictures, putting his arm around people. He's got a cane though. He's not.
yeah, he's got a back problem.
Not in the best shape. But
Yeah,
I
Muslim
thought he
drummers,
was.
yeah.
I was surprised. I thought he would have been an idiot.
Yeah,
you got to figure if he's going to go out and do a book tour, someone's got to say, "Look, you got to be very friendly with people. You can't.
Yeah,
you just can't
but these guys, man,
I
you
know.
don't tell them what they're going to do. You know, if he's going to go do a book, it's sign it only. You know how some of these egos are.
Yeah.
But no, he looked like he was
That's
more
cool.
than receptive to people.
Cool. That's because I heard a couple of interviews about the book. He was talking with, I think it was one was on like that show Fresh Air, NPR's Fresh Air.
He was very thoughtful in his responses and stuff. And he actually had some really in-depth analysis on how they were putting their songs together and what they would do, and you know. Critics and stuff. He says, everybody reads about their critics and stuff. He says, you don't take it personally, but they do. They're attacking not, they're attacking your soul. And he kind of got off on a tangent there, but it's very, very thoughtful and more so than I thought. I just thought he as Dave used to say, this guy makes a living out of hitting things with sticks.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure the people that work with him, whatever, are probably looking at all those social media posts. They look at, if you got to kind of be a little bit more open and receptive, because there's a lot of posts that where people were like, what the hell's going on in the Van Halen camp?
But even those book tours, I was going to go. I thought about going to see Geddy Lee when he was in Livonia.
That was expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like $250. I'm like, and that included the book.
Sucks.
Right.
But still,
I thought it would be cool to see
Yeah.
him, but then I saw that. I'm like, I'm not going to pay $250.
No.
It's not that I want to see the guy that bad, you know.
Right.
So
anyway. Where are we at? Let's wrap this thing up here.
I guess we could probably wrap
shots?
it up.
Do you got any final thoughts on what we talked about today?
Okay, let's put it this way. Do a vote. Do you like the concert experience now or back when we were...
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. I think we're in agreement on that.
Yeah.
The productions are better now, but again, then it means you're just watching TV. But as far as like the anticipation, just driving down there, the pregame stuff, as far as before you get in there and stuff. Just
what about the dope,
atmosphere.
Kurt? Was the dope better back then, or is it better now?
Well, I hear the dope now is better.
No, you hear.
Now you've got gummies to deal with.
Yeah, you could do gummies. Yeah, just gummies and stuff, where you actually had the smoke and stuff like that, and the other stuff that back then was a little more mellow.
We even talk about that. The whole concert experience where you're sitting there
The
and
fog
you're dodging,
coming off
and you're dodging beach balls and frisbees.
Firecrackers.
Yeah, and the guy's blowing up behind you and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You'd be sitting there and you go, what the heck was that? It's like, the dude behind me just threw up all over his lap.
Those were that could be for another show. All the
gross
part
stuff
2
you
or
saw
whatever.
at a concert.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gross stuff I've seen.
Yep. People passed out and stuff. Yeah.
Or how about anybody ever win a ticket fly out the window? Let's talk about that next time.
I don't even know how that happened, but it happened.
I think Zag opened up
cracked
his window.
It came out the driver's window. He was driving.
But I think it was
like he had it up in his
visor thing.
It blew
he
out
just kind of
the
slipped
window.
in his visor, and I don't know if someone opened up the other window and whoosh,
the windows were open already.
Good Lord. Okay. Well, on that note, there, Kurt, sing us out here.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. And you can email us at themusicexamination@gmail.com if you would like to make a comment or anything, or if you have any other thoughts about the shows. And you can hit us up there, and we'll be hopefully back soon with another episode.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And this was
you gotta give Joe props here.
I know. This is recorded and engineered at Fredith Synth Studio.
Okay.
I think we're out for today.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Stay metal.
You can't leave now. Who's gonna water the plants?